Hey guys, ArchieLuxury on an Emirates 777. I'm just talking watches and drinking coffee. Talking watches and drinking coffee. In business class on Emirates. Hi guys, Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel. This is your favorite spot to be for wristwatch paid reviews. I'm doing a paid review today. This is AU35. Before we start this review, mandatory wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Patek Philippe. I'm wearing the 5127 white gold. It's 6 o'clock at night. It's got the deployant buckle, and I love it. I love my Patek Calatrava. Interestingly enough, my good friend Bark and Jack, the coffee drinker, he actually said what's his favorite modern Patek, and he showed a bit of video of I think it was yellow gold, a 5107. Hey, Adrian, man, I got a 5127. I used to have a 5107. The only difference is this one's got a slightly more curved bezel. Which one is better? I kind of missed my 5107, Adrian. I actually like that one. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, this is for Richard. He says, hi, Paul. Love the videos. I've sent the money for a paid review and email advice, $65. I'm currently looking for a high-end luxury watch that will become my main daily wear watch. I am mainly a casual dresser. If this is my one, if I only had one watch, as such, it needs to be nice looking. What's that noise? Roaches. It needs to. Oh, something in my pocket. That's what it is. Sorry. I'm making noise when I'm talking. It's a receipt. It's a receipt. Okay. So there we go. It needs to be nice looking, timeless in design, durable, waterproof, and also not a dog when it comes to resale values. After much thought, I've decided that a stainless steel Rolex is probably the best way to go. Yes, I agree. So much choice is available that I'm a little bit stuck on what to choose, so my advice and help from you would be greatly appreciated. I have 7.5-inch wrists and could stretch my budget to around 5,000 British pounds if the watch has a solid resale value. Geez, that's not a lot of money. The pound is weak as piss. I want value for money from this Arch. You talk about how the right luxury watch are like money in the bank, but you get to enjoy the watch. I'm thinking of the Patek World Time you had for 12 months that you made money on it when you sold it. Well, actually, I simply sold a white gold one to get a yellow gold one. But yes, I understand what you're saying. This is the sort of value for money I'm looking for. Some of the things I really want the watch to have are: one, have the Rolex silver coronet on the dial, be a no date, have the newer design clasp. Hey, you're singing from my hymn book, fuckers. I am open to any suggestions, but you may have, but some of the ones I have looked at, you might want to give your thoughts on below. Number one, Rolex Milgauss black dial. The thinking man's Rolex, bomb-proof construction, and has a little of the year. It's a Rolex, but it's not your typical. Look at me, I have a Rolex. I also think this is likely to hold up in value more. It's also not that much more cost than the 39mm Rolex I mentioned below. He's talking about the Rolex 11430 white dial. This is the Oyster Perpetual, the no date, the Oyster Perpetual. Looks very smart, would look very smart as a casual everyday watch. Plus can still look smart under a shirt, very understated looking Rolex, and looks more sporty and less like an entry type of watch. And the next one is the same thing except with the black dial, classy basic Rolex. It looks like it's very much the entry level. I don't know about that. I don't think it does, but hey, I also like the look of the Rolex 11600, but think that at 36 mil it might be a bit small on a 7.5-inch wrist, and resale values might not be as good. What do you suggest? So, Paul, there you have it. What do you think represents the best money for value, money in the bank Rolex for everyday watch wear? I'm looking forward to your thoughts. Stay well, Richard. The one sentence I can come up with there: Rolex Steel Sports. So whilst the Oyster Perpetuals are beautiful, they are great watches. I sincerely say this. The three watches that come to mind would be Milgauss. That's a 40 mil Milgauss. The other thing that comes to mind would be a Rolex Explorer 1 39 mil. And the third option would be the Air King, the 40 mil new Air King. Which one of those do I think, which watch do I like best? I personally think it would come down to either the Explorer 1 or the Milgauss. If it was me, okay, let's look at a few scenarios then. If I had a choice, I could pick any of those I've just mentioned. That's the Milgauss, the Explorer 1, and the Air King. I would pick, my top of the tree would be the Z Blue Milgauss. That's if you're buying new or newish used. I think that is probably the best. That's the hardest one to get as well. Next would be, I quite like the black non-GV. The Explorer 1 really tugs at my heartstrings because I had my first Rolex was a 1016, and I think the 36 mil is a bit small. However, the new 39 mil Explorer 1 that's the 214270. Absolutely perfect. I don't think you could go wrong with that choice there. And I'd say the Air King, but any of those three would be very, very good. Nothing wrong with the Oyster Perpetual. I mean, if you really liked, I got to say, the white Oyster Perpetual, Clivers, I mean, everything Clivers does, you've got to fucking take with a grain of salt because he's not exactly the fashion police, you know? He's not exactly the fashion police. But I kind of agree that the white dial has got special indices on it. It's kind of funky. It's cool as fuck. Yes, it is. But I would say myself, one and dusted, you'd have to go Steel Sports. You'd go Milgauss, Explorer 1, or Air King. That's the new Air King with the gold and the green writing. You know, that's the special 40 mil, which is I think it's a great fucking watch. Any of those would be fine. Oyster Perpetual, it's not terrible. It's just that it's not as desirable. Any of the sports just are a little bit more desirable and not much more money. And I think they would be better bang. They would represent an easier sale if you wanted to get out. They're going to be harder to find in the first place, but that is where I would be going. I don't know if 36 mil is too small. I tend to think 36 mil is probably pushing it. 7.5 inch wrists. I mean, what is the fuck? What is that? 7.5 inch wrists. What is that? 7.5 inch wrists. What's that? Oh, that's nothing. So nothing. It's about 19 centimeters. That's about mine. I'm about that. I'm about 8. I'm 8 inches. 8 inches, fuckers. 8 inches on the tape measure. I don't think 36 mil is super small. It depends on the watch. You know, I got to tell you the truth there. I've been wearing a few Pateks lately. I've got 2 Calatravas. One's 39 mil. Sorry, one's 38 mil and one's 37. I prefer the 37. Okay, big fucker like me, you would think go for the bigger. But I actually like the 37. It depends on the watch. With the Rolex, look, I'd probably go 39 or 40. It's probably better, smarter way to go there. the most important thing is get Rolex. Make sure you get the Rolex. Rolex. I agree with you. Rolex, waterproof, automatic, fantastic watch. No date. I like the no date Rolexes. I really do. They're just simple pleasures in life. You know, it's like internet porn. Just a simple pleasure with very little consequence. And then you like the newer clasps. I agree. I think the newer clasps are streets ahead of the old clasps. So I would definitely go that way. I would definitely 100% go that way. So I got to tell you honestly, Steel Sports Rolex, that's the answer. That, my friend, is the answer. All of those, there are good choices. I think, look, the money you spend on that's a watch that can see you through life. You shouldn't be looking at selling it, but I mean, look, it's just keep it, just make it a life, you know, just a thing you have, takes you through the rest of your life. That is so cool. That's what I'd be doing. So there you go, guys. That's my advice. I reckon you can't go wrong. Rolex. I mean, I'm wearing a Patek, yeah, but I'm the pontiff. You know, the pontiff. I've still got one Rolex. I got my Explorer 2. If I'm going on a plane and sleeping, I'd rather have my Explorer 2 on than a Patek. You know, the Patek, especially if you're in economy class. Fuck, you know, I kind of a bit tight, squishy, you know. But I think a Rolex is a great choice. Rolex, can't go wrong at all. So there you go, guys. Remember, like, subscribe, tell your fuckhead friends, and don't be afraid to put a few nasty comments below. And remember, guys, paid watch reviews keep me full-time on YouTube. Google Ads doesn't really cut the mustard. I need your support. So please help us with this. I would greatly appreciate it. See you later.
Oh. Hey Archie Luxury fans, if you're into luxury, then you gotta be into 66 Buick Rivieras. Check out my son and I, Alex, as we restore this beautiful 66 Buick.
Neighbors are having a picnic, you know, having fun and stuff. Me, I'm doing cars. It's what I've done my whole life.
David SW. Who does ArchieLuxury recommend is the greatest grey market dealer in America? There's only one choice, David SW. That's right, guys. I've got to tell you the honest truth. I have, for a long time, been looking for the perfect answer. Who do I recommend people go to see? Who do I recommend that people can go and buy watches? And I've got to be honest with you. The greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet is David SW. DavidSW.com. That's right, guys. I have been looking for a contact who I can very nicely refer people to. I am not in the selling business. Customer service, I'm too old to sell watches. I'm too old. I like to recommend my viewers to a reliable source. In Australia, I've got some great sources. There's Sydney Watch Exchange with Cove, Ronnie at Vintage Watch Co, Shani at European Watch Gallery. And in America, who is the best source for pre-owned Rolex, for all the hot models? There's only one person I would recommend, David SW. That is the premier source for pre-owned Rolex. I gotta be completely frank and honest with you. Guys, if you are looking for a hot Rolex model, there is only one place you can go to, David SW, David SW, David SW. Let's be honest, guys, there's no point schmoozing the dealers, the ADs. They're just a waste of time. Unless you're going to buy 20 pieces, you are wasting your time. What you're better off to do is pay the market premium and go to a good pre-owned dealer. Who do I recommend? David SW, David SW, David SW. That's correct, guys. I want to tell you this now. I 100% stand behind David SW. David SW, the greatest pre-owned dealer in the entire United States of America. That's right, the greatest pre-owned dealer for Rolex, for Patek Philippe, for Audemars Piguet, David SW. He even does things like FP Journe. David SW, David SW, David SW. That's right. If you want to buy a pre-owned Rolex, a Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, there's only one good source I would recommend. David SW, David SW, David SW. I'm Paul Pluta, the method actor who plays Archibald Chesterfield III, and I'm proud to recommend David SW. See you later. Thank you for watching this channel.